So delighted to have Barry Geraghty, 38-time Cheltenham Festival winning jockey. It's a New Year's treat for Champ.ie followers. And I suppose, Barry, I'll start by asking you, how was the Christmas? Was there much travel involved? How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's good. I got over to Kempton and Stevens there and got a couple of winners there. It was good. So an early start, 5 o'clock start there for that, and back home that evening and back to Leopardstown then for 3 days, and was just touched off in the Paddy Power on Fitzhenry. So that was a bit of a I didn't see it coming with the last 3 strides like that.
And did you hear Jerry Hannon's commentary on Roaring Bull? Did you hear him coming behind you?
Well, I knew there was something coming, so I was head down and I was keep going, but wasn't enough to beat Rolling Bull.
Wasn't enough to beat Roaring Bull. So looking back, I suppose, on 2019, Barry Geraghty, one novice this time last year that came on the scene was Champ. He won the Shallow Hurdle at Newbury. What sort of a feel did he give you that day? And a horse of high talent.
Yeah, no, he was very good. It was a slow run race. He was a little bit keen, but he picked up well. And for a horse who enjoys 2.5 mile and got 3 in Aintree after that, we knew, a slow run 2.5 wasn't going to suit him. So to win that, we were fairly happy he was going to build on that, especially stepping up and through.
Absolutely, and of course a horse that you absolutely love, that's Defi Du Seuil. Early last season, his battles with Lost in Translation, of course, one at Cheltenham and one at Sandown, and back to Cheltenham then. Of those performances, which one stood out for you? As I presume it would have been Cheltenham.
Well, Cheltenham is the one you want to win, especially. But I thought he was very good in the Tingle Creek, in stepping up in grade. He'd only ran once over 2 mile as a novice in Punchestown when he got beaten by Chacun Poussoir. So, there's a question mark over that as regards it was his last run of the season. Maybe the edge was gone off him, but he really stepped up in the Tingle Creek, and that performance would really excite you. But likewise, Cheltenham beating Lost in Translation. We knew on the day it was a good performance, and we knew Lost in Translation was going to be a good horse. So he's shaped up well, with the exception of running below par in the King George, but he's been good today.
And I suppose the ride of the Cheltenham Festival in many people's minds was Sire de Burley. Shades of AP Mackay on that horse, Wichita Lyman. He was off the bridle for nearly 2 circuits in the Pertemps. And what was your memories of that particular race and delivering him late at the Cheltenham Festival?
Yeah, he struggles. He jumped a bit big early on, and he got warmed up until about halfway, and then I was chasing him along, and he missed the third last. Got a bit squeezed for room, but in fairness to him, every time I got stuck into him, he found a little bit, and he kept finding another little bit, and I knew turning in I was going to take a fair one to beat me.
Fair enough. And of course, then at Aintree on that Friday, of course, maybe your season turned a little bit, Barry, with the broken. Tell us a little bit about the injury itself. It was just above the ankle, I believe, and a horrible day. What goes through your mind when something like that happens? Your whole season, of course, you had Aintree, you had the National the next day, and then Punchestown as well to look forward to.
Yeah, well, just the initial reaction was I didn't see that coming. I was after breaking. I've had an average run in the last 4 or 5 years. I did both arms, I did ribs and a punctured lung, and just before Cheltenham a couple of years before that, I had shoulder blade. I'd missed plenty of time, so having had a reasonable good run, I'd say, for 10 years before that with only small breaks. I was on the deck and I was looking up at my leg and it was twisted sidewards. I knew it was broken. I was thinking, I see that coming, So that's all it is. You don't see it coming.
Don't see it coming. And of course, then there was one thing I wanted to ask you. Yourself, Ruby Walsh, and Davy Russell were, I suppose, some of the more experienced jockeys in the weigh room. Ruby Walsh, did he surprise you, Barry, when he announced his retirement at Punchestown? And I suppose, is there one Ruby Walsh memory that sticks out for you?
I was at home with my leg up on the day when he retired, and I watched the race, and he gave the horse an unbelievable ride. He was being hassled up the front, and he kept saving, and he didn't kick until late on. It was a brilliant ride, and then to retire on that, and plus after giving a great ride to the horse in the Irish Grand National, who was only a novice, and that was, he was brilliant on both of those, and it just completely shocked me. I was, I couldn't believe it when it happened. I was punched on the following day, and he was going on the best smile, and I was still in shock with the thought that he could actually stop him back. Such a a good run, if you like. So yeah, no, it was a strange one, but obviously he had his mind made and it was his time to go, so he was happy with that. As regards memories, geez, it was umpteen memories, I suppose. The two, if you want to go for a score each, was probably more of that. I got one over him there, beating Annie Power, but then he got one back on me when he beat Jockey. So we got one on each other those 2 years in Cheltenham.
Absolutely, I suppose then you're looking at your time out, Barry. You're 6 months out, I believe. I think you were hoping to get back for Listowel. I think that was the original target. But then, so how was the recovery during the summer? So did you spend much time in the likes of Jessica's or Nicky Henderson's? Or were you in Gavin Cromwell's, I think, as well during that time?
Well, the first 4 months I wasn't doing much. I couldn't do much. I had the frame on me for 13 weeks, so I got that off in early July, I think, which, you know, at that stage I was hoping to Gala was the original plan, but that was nowhere close. Then I was hoping for the stall, but I went back to the surgeon, and I was riding out at that stage, early September, and Jesse's, and I was hoping to get back for the stall, and my surgeon, Mr. David Moore, who was very good, he said to me, give it another month. He said, if you twist that leg, it'll find the weakness. So he didn't have to argue too much case there. You know, the stall's a great meeting, but, you know, I didn't need to come back a month early and maybe risk breaking it again with the winter season only around the corner. So that just kicked it to touch for the month. I got back in October and got back going again, and thankfully I've had a good run through the early part of the winter.
Yeah, and I suppose what a horse to look forward and to get you through those mornings, those dark mornings, I suppose, when you are out injury would be Defi Du Seuil. And we did mention him obviously in the Tingle Creek, but that 2 mile division now, I suppose you've been associated with the likes of Sprinter and Moscow Flyer. Is he a 2 miler now in your head?
Well, the Tingle Creek is, you know, that's one of the top 2 mile races of the year, probably second only to the Champion Chase. So, you know, he won that. He beat obviously beat Undersow, who was a great performance. Ground was hard work, would have played to the Undersow strengths, if you like, and probably Defi at his age and lack of experience, it probably made it harder work for him. So I think there's plenty of improvement in him at both his age and learning to race and jump at speed, which he hadn't done an awful lot before. So he's a horse I've always liked and loved, especially over a fence. I think he's shaping up well for a 2 mile champion chaser, and fingers crossed it stays that way.
I suppose another horse who I was really looking forward to going into Cheltenham last year, Barry, was Epatante. She, I suppose, put her hand up at Newbury, was on the Hennessy meeting in that handicap hurdle. I think she was off 137. Then went on, of course, on just a couple of days ago in the at Kempton in the Christmas hurdle. Is she champion hurdle class now? And how, I suppose, that day at Kempton just over Christmas, she must have given you some feel.
Oh, she did. She was brilliant on the day. You know, travel great, jump really well. She was really slick, and you know, on soft ground as well. She showed a lot of speed, picked up well, and you know, Silver Streak is a good yardstick. He was third in the champion hurdle last year. He's not a superstar, but he's a good horse. And she dismissed him, and he has Kempton form as well. So it all ties in reasonably well. I think she's head of the market, if you like, but she's definitely a big player for the champion hurdle.
And I must just ask you about Boover there quickly, going back to the fighting fifth. Obviously, we all saw that picture where he had the piece of the wood chip caught in his hoof. Now, how's he been since?
No, he's doing well, but it's a bit of an unknown as regards how long it's going to take for that. He'd have part of the hoof cut off just to get all the chips out. So he's a hole in the front of his hoof, if you like. So that has to heal back. Now, it's probably closed up well at this stage, but to get him back to full work, it's highly unlikely he's going to make Cheltenham. But maybe there's a chance he may punch that. I'm not sure, but that's all a wait and see, really. But he's in good form, I believe, and fingers crossed he's out of the woods, I'd say.
Okay, and I suppose we all know maybe what your pit was for the last year, 2019, maybe that fall at Aintree. If it was something else, just tell me. But I suppose, what was your peak of 2019 as a whole, Barry Geraghty?
I suppose the two horses win the first two races on the think they're the first 2 races on the Thursday in Cheltenham. Defi Du Seuil and Sarah de Burle. So it's nice to ride winners in Cheltenham, and when we get 2 in a row, like, definitely a good feeling.
Absolutely. I suppose, and outside your own career, Barry Geraghty, the sport of racing in itself, what was the story of 2019 in your eyes?
Jeez, you got me there now. Look at it.
Take your time, Barry.
Yeah, the wheel keeps turning. It's like Willie Mullins, Gordon Elliott, Nicky Henderson is an amazing man to keep coming back year on year on year at the top level. Producing them. You see Epatante, that was his big fancy for Cheltenham last year. Now she got a bit keen on the day and worked up, but to see why in Kempton, why he's taught so much of her, and he's a masterful trainer. He's brilliant to work with, and I know just admire the man no end. So there's loads of highs and everything, but he's a great man to work with. He's probably to be at it so long and to keep reinventing himself, I'd say.
Absolutely. Well, that's the horse racing, Barry. I believe you're involved in screen football as well with a couple of the youngsters.
Yeah, the kids play with screens, so they do. So hopefully they might have the talent might come from their mum, who's a Kerry woman. So any
sign of the Royals, I suppose, stepping up to Dublin's level anytime soon.
Yeah, they're a bit to get to Dublin's level, but if they get they got in the into the final round there last year, so that's to get into that, and they improved, I think, as they went. So fingers crossed they can build on it again.
Absolutely. Listen, Barry, it's been a pleasure having you on the Champ.ie, featuring just ahead of the new year as well, looking back at all 2019. And I wish you the very best of luck, Barry Geraghty, for the year ahead. And let's hope you bang in those winners.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
Thanks a million, Barry. Bye-bye.